What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Monday, March 2nd, 2026. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a very special guest that's on with me today, as she is a fellow writer like your boy, who is a sports journalist. But she writes in lifestyle and travel, and she is a freelancer like myself. Her name is Chelsia, I should say, Durkee. And she is out there in the West Coast, out there in San Francisco, and we're going to talk to her about her why of getting into writing. We're also going to talk about what she does on a day-to-day basis, and we're going to ask her some get-to-know-you questions. So without any further ado, I introduce to you the wonderful, talented, hardworking, creative, and the beautiful Chelsia. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was a pleasant surprise because as writers, we're often just writing about different subjects and talking and connecting with people. And then I was like, oh, someone wants to hear like my story. That's pretty cool. Like, I'm
Hmm.
down for that. So,
Absolutely. And
because we're usually on the other side. So,
oh, no doubt, no question. And I'm so happy that you agreed to do it because I was looking forward to this. And this has been a long time coming. We actually been talking for a minute to try to get this on
yeah.
here. So I'm so happy that we're able to get this down tonight. And listen, my first question to you is the same as it always is with every guest that comes here on the podcast, and it's pretty simple. What is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models or any inspirations maybe growing up? But ultimately, what is your why for getting into writing?
Yeah. Um, I would say my why for getting into writing was not very conventional because I didn't grow up writing or thinking a lot about becoming an author. It wasn't something on my radar. As a kid, like I always loved to read.
Hmm.
So that was just like something that I saw as like, this is my passion. And I like doing a few things. Like before I got into my first career, I was like, okay, I like helping people. So I think I want to be a teacher.
Right.
Um, but also, I just really like to read. So, is there a job where I can just read all day? Because I would literally be that kid where I was like, I'm gonna be on the side, like reading my book, and like it just kind of was like very therapeutic for me to like delve into those worlds and
For
like
sure.
use my imagination and like, just like the classics. Like, I was obsessed with like series of unfortunate events,
Hmm.
boxcar children. Um, yeah, just like a lot of things. But I was like, actually, so this is actually my third career.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm pretty young. So like that's why I was saying like this is not very conventional. So I was like, where do I start? So I have a big passion for connecting with people. So that's I've always been like that. Like as a kid, I also was like kind of shy, but I felt like I had like this innate desire to like always like connect with people or be like the person that's like, like I see that kid that's kind of like awkward or like maybe they're like isolated. So I'm like, you know what? You don't have to be like, you can join our group.
Absolutely.
And like
Absolutely.
honestly, like that's how I would make like a lot of my friends. Like I would just be like eating and I'm like, well, this person seems alone and like I don't want them to feel alone. And then suddenly I'm like, well, they're actually pretty cool. So I don't know. And then when I was in college, I studied psychology
Hmm.
because I thought like I have this like ability to connect with others and I'm an empath and maybe I'll become, a therapist. So I went on that path. So I have my master's in social work
Right.
and I was training to become a therapist, which, as you can imagine, was very stressful
For sure.
for a lot of different reasons.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, because like, social services, like, the budget is very limited depending on like the year, especially in the years of where you're working, right? So it's
Right.
not like a priority
Right.
for our society. So it's kind of sad because like I would try to advocate for people, but it's really out of my control. It's up to the government. So
Right.
I'm kind of like the intermediary person.
The middleman.
Um, Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
The middleman. So, I mean, I liked doing that for a while. Like, I did like, connecting with people, but I was so young. Like, I think, I don't know, I experienced a lot of different things. Like, I feel like I experienced like ageism, honestly, because people were like, you're so young. Like, how can you do this job? But I feel like it doesn't really matter. Like, some people are just like, click with a certain field at a young age. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, you could be 50, 60 and not be a good social worker, you know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so I mean, I did a lot of different things, and I was like, I really still am passionate about psychology and mental health, but I wanted to go into a field where I wasn't like working constantly because I just felt like the system was setting me up to kind of feel burnt out. Like I didn't feel like I got enough like rest or vacation time, and that's not good for my clients either. So then I was like, okay, well, I kind of am seeing like why a lot of people burn out,
Mm,
and it was like after 5 years, like specifically after 5 years, that's when a lot of people burn out. But then I was like, well, a lot of these coworkers of mine, like they were burnt out, and like that's understandable because a lot of them, like they have their own families, they have their own personal lives. It's not like you just have work. But I
absolutely.
was like, but
Yeah.
I want to like actually enjoy my life and like maybe use my passion for people in another way. So I tried to get into HR
Okay.
and I did.
Okay. Okay.
And I did. Yeah, it was kind of like no one wanted to hire me. Like I just kept applying for like these HR coordinator roles and
Hmm.
they just looked at me like you have a master's degree, so why are you doing like an admin entry level role? And I was like, well, it seems like I don't have like HR generalist experience. I don't know how to be an HR business partner, so I'll try to work my way up and people would kind of look at me like, okay, yeah, like we'd rather just hire someone like straight out of college.
Right,
And it's like,
right.
when you're like overqualified, but then you're underqualified. So I would go on LinkedIn. So this was like, so I would go on LinkedIn and try to find jobs and stuff. But eventually I did get one, which was really cool because the woman that hired me, like to this day, like I'm still like, oh, I'm so glad. Like the people that have like advocated for me and been like, oh, well, like maybe you don't have the exact same thing. Like maybe you haven't worked in HR, but she could see the transferable skills because HR is dealing with people. Like you can transfer that over to any field.
For sure.
So she was like, well, I'm going to take a chance. You seem like you have a lot of knowledge. So basically, I started doing HR communications. And that was really cool because I got experience to work in an office and write, and just learn a lot about like HR. But then the issue was that it was a contract role, and so like basically my contract was up during the pandemic.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Like
Oh
literally
wow.
like February 2020, I
Yeah,
remember because it was like when they were just starting and like it was like when they were telling people to go home was like basically when my contract was done.
for
So I had a
sure.
bunch of interviews lined up and they basically all canceled.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I
Yeah, it
remember
was like really,
the
yeah, it was like
yeah.
really hard because I was just like, okay, like I need money. Like obviously it was hard for everyone.
Right.
Like everything was so uncertain because they were like, well, we don't even know what's going on with our health. And I'm like, well, okay, but basically like I started using LinkedIn like as my hobby, honestly, because I really had nothing else to do. And I was just like, okay, like all of these people are kind of like posting on LinkedIn, like let me just write for fun.
Hmm.
And I want to use like my mental health background because like I experienced a lot, I feel like a lot of discrimination and I've seen a lot of my clients experience discrimination and people were just like what do we do in this situation and like obviously like social workers aren't trained to work in a pandemic but we have like a lot of crisis intervention skills and
For
I was like
sure.
well I can just like answer these questions for fun because I have nothing else to do honestly
Wow.
and I was just like might as well help someone and then people were like starting to follow me which I thought was really cool and I was like well I need to do something so I'm just going to consistently post see what happens. And then I was like, this is actually quite fun because, like, I'm basically like the creative director because I felt like no one was really watching me. Like, yeah, sure, some people are commenting, but I felt like at the end of the day, like, I'm just doing this for fun.
Hmm.
And then I was like, but I actually still want to work in HR. So when I was writing stuff, like some people would comment, and when I would see like those frequent commenters, I was sometimes would be like, "Do you want to do like an informational interview? Because I want to learn more about your job." And some of them would ignore me, but a lot of them actually would respond because they had been following me.
Right.
And there were some people that I do not really keep in touch with, but I really like thank them for taking the time because some of them like they were really straight up with me and were like, "Look, like this job doesn't involve writing. This job is paperwork. It sounds like you're a very creative person. It sounds like because I would like when I think back, like in all my jobs, I would be like, I want to create a training that will teach parents like certain skills
Hmm.
rather than sitting with them one on one. I can save time and just create a video for them and like literally sit down and be like, these are the laws and this is what you need to do. And I would have all these ideas, but I wouldn't have time because I was a social worker.
Right.
So I would be like, maybe I should do training and development. They were like, you know what? We just use a software. We just train with the laws. Like we don't have much writing. We do paperwork. Like people would just be like straight up, like, this doesn't really sound like something you would want to do.
Hmm.
And I'm really glad they told me that. So in that way, like, but it was just like a lot of people would talk to me and like delegate their time and just one of them was actually like training to be a career counselor. So she actually took me on as her client for free because she said like I'm in school studying and I need like hours and I was like, "Well, yeah, I need help." And she actually was so great because like I hope she has become a career coach because she was like, "What do you like to do in your spare time?"
Right.
Like everyone would be like, "What are your career goals?" But she was the first person who was like, "What do you like to do for fun?" And I was like, "Well, I run a blog. I'm trying to do these interviews with people. I'm doing videos." Like basically, she was like, "So basically, the common theme is writing. Like you're writing all of these scripts and all these things down." And I was like, "Yeah, that's just on the side. That's for fun." And she was like, "Don't you think you'll get better if you do that every day as a job?"
Absolutely.
And I was like,
Yes.
and I was like, okay, but like, is that like a real job? Like, I'm confused. Like, this is fun. Like, I don't
Absolutely,
know
it
why,
is.
but like, for some reason, I think in society, like, we're kind of trained to think like if it's fun, like maybe it's not like a job. So I don't know. She kind of shifted my mindset and was like, if you love this so much, like, you can do it full time. And I was like, really? Like,
Absolutely.
I don't know why. It just like kind of blew my mind. And then I was just like, I'm just gonna go for it then. Um, and then yeah, like I got hired back to my old job to do like part-time work in HR communication. So when I started in HR, so she saw I was struggling to get a job, so she was like, let's just hire you for you to do communications because you want to do writing, so you can go back and do writing for us while someone hires you full time. At that time that I was working part-time, that's when people started reaching out to me. And suddenly they were
Mm,
coming to me after like literally, I'm telling you, a year and a half of dead silence.
right.
As soon as I had that job on my LinkedIn profile, I had multiple offers coming to me. So I just want to say, take a chance on the person that's just sitting and doing LinkedIn every day because, like, there was nothing that had changed about me. It's just the fact that I had the title on my profile.
For sure. I love that. No, that's
So yeah,
incredible.
so then now I've been doing copywriting for almost 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I've been doing like freelance writing, so that's when I've started last year doing like the travel and the lifestyle stuff because that's when I was like I want to start writing more about things that I'm passionate about personally too.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's when I started doing more research on that and like yeah, so basically that's a long way to say like I've always loved people and storytelling and now I finally have like figured out like this is how I can channel it in a way that works for me because before I was like I love stories, I love connecting with people, but I was just doing it in a different way.
Absolutely. No question. I mean, listen, storytelling is something that all journalists love. We love passionately, right? And you do it in a plethora of ways. I know for me, my genre again is sports. So Kobe Bryant, growing up in California, was somebody who was like an idol of mine, who I absolutely loved. I love the Lakers, still do to this day. and he's the one that really inspired me to want to get into sports. Now, of course, I played basketball in high school, but I knew pro probably wasn't going to be an option for me. So I said, okay, let me pivot and do something else. But I like you. I was like, I didn't know I could write sports and get paid for it because the only papers I ever
Yeah.
written in high school was like about Moby Dick and like Harry Potter, and
Yeah.
that's like boring as hell. I was like, what is going
Yeah,
on?
I didn't like English in high school or
No.
college. Like I didn't know that it was actually like fun.
Right. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, if I could write about something I want to write about, then I'm cool with it. So, it's crazy you say that because I want to ask you this. You went to Mills College, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
um,
I did.
and you also went to CSU Los Angeles to get your master's, if I'm not mistaken. I want
Yeah.
to know, uh, when it came to those schools, were they your number one choice, or did you have more schools in mind that could have persuaded you from those schools? And if so, what were some of those schools?
Like were those my first choice to
Yeah.
go in?
Yeah.
I mean, I think basically, yeah, Mills was basically my first choice to go in.
Okay.
Um, because I wanted to go to a liberal arts school. It was really small. And then with Cal State LA, I don't know if it was my first choice or not because I only applied to like state schools. So I only applied to like San Jose State, Cal State LA, and Cal State Long Beach.
Mm,
And then I was like, I'm pretty much fine with any of those. So I just picked the one that I got in first.
mm,
And then I was like, it's a change at least.
I
I'm
feel
going
that.
somewhere different because I was in the Bay Area my whole life. So I kind of did want to do something different. But I think social work, it's like more about your internships. Like the school doesn't matter so much. So I wasn't super focused on like which school really for grad school.
And I was thinking the same thing about journalism as well. Being a journalist, and I've worked with different publications and a couple of networks, and now I'm doing freelance where I can kind of bounce around. But I thought that it was very important for me to go to a journalism school like Indiana University or Georgia or Arizona State, Northwestern, Syracuse, Missouri. The list goes on and on. I thought I had to go to one of those schools with big time affiliates and big time journalism programs. I ended up going to Kennesaw State University out in Georgia, where my mom and uncle live, and I got my undergrad and my master's at the same school, and I was able to get hired at multiple different places. Thank God, knock on wood. And I thought that going to a particular school would matter, but it really doesn't. It really is about what experience you can draw from those schools and what can you get out of those schools, because a lot of times price, as I've talked to a lot of people, price dictates where you go, which is why you say you signed up for state schools, because state schools is much
Yeah, I
cheaper
mean,
than
it
private.
was a lot cheaper, and I was like, well, my priority is just to gain the master's and gain the internship experience because
Right.
the social work salary is quite low. So, I mean, I don't want to spend a lot, and some people were going to USC because I worked with USC, and we were in the same internship, and I'm like, it's the same thing. So, I
Right.
don't know what difference it is. Like Cal State LA and USC had the same internships.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you on that. Now, I'm going to ask you some favorite questions, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Okay. So here we go. Favorite meal you like to cook?
I don't cook very much, but if I did, um, probably like something simple like salmon,
Oh,
like fried rice,
yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on
broccoli,
that.
like yeah, like something like simple, like yeah, I feel like that's always good.
Yeah, you definitely is. There's no question. You ain't gonna get an argument out of me. That's for sure. I'm huge into pasta. I'm also a huge taco person. Love
Yeah,
tacos. That's something that you could whip up pretty fast. So yeah, definitely tacos and steak. I can do a mean steak as well.
yeah.
Definitely. Okay, I'm with you on that. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh wow, that's hard because I went to Vegas last year and I went to the Shania Twain residency and that was really fun.
That is a bop. Shania Twain
Yeah.
has some songs that's pretty
That
good.
was really fun. But then I also saw my favorite singer live,
Who's that?
which is Alicia Keys.
Oh my goodness,
So that's
girl!
like my favorite, like since she started.
You gonna make? Do you
So
know how hard it is to make a black man blush with this pigmentation? You gonna make me blush and
yeah,
turn red.
yeah.
My
It's like that.
goodness.
You have to love the '90s R&B.
Right.
Like there's nothing better. honestly.
Well, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I don't know about
Yeah.
you, but I'm in my 30s, so I'm
Yeah, I'm
definitely
in my 30s, so
okay.
that's why I was like, you
Okay.
can relate to it. Like, you
Okay.
know, the
Hmm.
original stuff
I
is
do.
good.
I do. Alicia Keys concert, had the privilege of going to one in Atlanta, Georgia. She is so
Oh,
beautiful and so talented on that piano. Actually, Robin Thicke was opening up for her, which is also another crooner type of singer. So I'm a huge R&B person. Love
yeah.
R&B. That's my vibe. Anytime I can do that, for sure. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Oh, wow. um, I mean, recently I just got back from a trip. That's why it took us a while to connect.
Hmm.
But uh, it's hard to choose like one specific place. But the first one that came to mind was Seville, Spain, which I just wrote about
Oh,
recently, like
okay.
southern Spain. Yeah, probably because it was actually the first city that I went to out of the U.S. when I was 20, and then
Wow.
I just went back like a month ago.
Okay.
So I have a lot of good memories there. So it's like, when you revisit something and you're so young, and it was cool because it's exactly the same.
Okay. Well, listen.
Like, I mean, there's some gentrification, of course, like all places, but it's
Mhm.
like because the city is very like old and traditional, and a lot of people there like only speak Spanish, and I don't know, it's just it feels like it's very different than Barcelona, which is very like diverse and it's like funky, which is like fun and cool, but like if you go to Sevilla, it's like that's I feel like where you get more like Spanish culture.
Well, I'm definitely Chelsea. Definitely gonna be hitting you up for some recommendations because I've never been to Spain before, for sure, and that's definitely on my bucket list to go to Spain one
Oh
of
yeah,
these
you're
days,
gonna love it.
for sure.
You're gonna love it. Yeah.
I would say my favorite place is Jamaica. I was a huge
Oh,
fan of Jamaica going there. I love the vibe, love the beach, love the food, love the people. It was hot as hell. Don't get me wrong with that. But other than that, everything else was on point. So I love that. So going to Jamaica was pretty fun. Um, I'm a sports person, so I'm going to ask you a two-part sports question, and you just try the best to answer this. Okay, so here we go. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV? Favorite sport you like to attend in person? They could be the same sport.
I mean, I don't really watch sports, but if I had to choose, like it would be basketball.
Okay, Chelsea, where the hell have you
Because
been? Where have
I
you
just feel
been?
like it's more like fun. It's more fun and engaging. Like I can't get into American football. I can't get into baseball. I mean, I've been to like the 49er game once. It's just it's not for me. I prefer basketball cuz I feel like that's something that I would play like in elementary too, so maybe I understand the game more.
Now,
But I'm just like football just goes over my head.
and that's okay. That is all right. Listen,
Yeah.
and I love the fact you
Yeah.
said basketball because that's my favorite sport. To be honest with
Yeah,
you.
I mean, I just feel like it's more fun. Like
Hmm.
if I had to choose a sport to play, like I would choose that. But
Absolutely.
I'm not a sports person.
And that's okay. That is all right.
Yeah,
Listen, and you got a new sports buddy, and that's for sure. And I don't mind that. I don't mind that you're not into sports, but basketball is your sport. We can lock in. They got the Warriors up there in San Francisco. I know that
yeah,
you know what I'm talking
exactly.
about, so that's pretty cool. So I'm with that. Okay. Last of the favorites. I'm a huge foodie. So I love going to different places, love going to different restaurants to get something to eat. What is your favorite place to go out and eat at out there?
I mean, there's a lot of really good restaurants like in Daly City and Burlingame
Hmm.
where it's like dim sum restaurants, like a lot of like really good like Chinese food, I feel like, and
Okay.
it's not like as crowded as like going out in San Francisco, but it's like you can get like if you have like a whole family, like you can get like huge platters of like Peking duck, like roasted chicken, fried rice, chow mein, and it's like quite affordable, but the quality is like very good.
I
So
mean,
I would say like in that area, like I tend to go out and eat more.
okay. Oh, okay. I like that. I can respect that. Whenever I do eat Chinese food, I'm a huge shrimp fried rice person. So
Yeah.
definitely shrimp fried rice, orange chicken, sesame chicken. You got to have those for me for sure. If it's not the rice, it's the lo mein. Anything lo mein is pretty good too. So I'm with that. Obviously, San Francisco is a huge spot for sports all the time. They have all their big time events that come out there, and I would definitely be back out that way soon. And when I do, Chelsea, we definitely gonna have to go hit up a Chinese spot. That'd be dope. That'd be amazing.
Oh, and also like the mission, like basically the mission is so good even if it's not Mexican.
Hmm.
Like all the Mexican food is amazing
Oh,
because that's actually where they started like the huge like super burritos with the sour cream and the guacamole. Like that's where they started. It was in the Mission, San Francisco.
now you speaking my love language. My Chinese food is great. Don't get me wrong. Now that that's your favorite, that's great. But
Yeah, but
it's
like I was gonna say like I eat Chinese food, but like more with my family. But if you just had to ask me like off the cuff like where I would go, I'd be like, I'm going to the Mission right now and
okay.
getting my burrito.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm a
like you
huge
cannot go wrong.
carne asada fan. Like carne asada, I've been looking for carne asada fries. I don't know if you ever heard of carne asada fries before,
No,
but
they're really good. Yeah, I love them.
okay. So they do not have them out here. They didn't have them in the Midwest when I was in Minnesota. They don't have them out here in New
Oh.
York. It seems to be a West Coast thing. So whenever I
Yeah,
do go
it's
back
more,
there,
I feel like there's a lot in San Diego, right? And also LA.
no
And I think
question.
they have it here too, but like in LA, that's where I started eating like carne asada fries, and that's where I got more into Mexican food.
Okay, I'm with you on that. All right, no doubt. Like I said, when I do come up there again, I'll definitely have to say hello to you and definitely have to go get some mission food with you. That'd be amazing. No question.
That would be fun.
Um,
Yeah.
I would love to know about your day-to-day process. Like as a journalist, my day-to-day process changes. No 2 days are ever the same, especially now since I'm a freelancer. You know, I cover a few teams out here, but the games are different. The outcomes are different. The stories that I pitch are different. You know, I'm not just to one particular place like I was in Atlanta or in Minnesota. You know, I kind of bounce around, but I also love that flexibility of being able to kind of create the stories and, do the games that I want to do as a writer, tell me, and even as somebody in your job, tell me what your day to day process is. Like, how many articles are you doing a week? What's the different topics that you talk about, whether it is travel or lifestyle, and stuff like that? Do you pitch it to publications or magazines, or do you just blog about it?
Yeah. So my day-to-day process for my freelance work, like you're saying, can look like a little bit different, but I feel like it kind of depends because I feel like sometimes I'm like, okay, I really want to get this article out, right?
Mhm.
I really want to do it. I want to post it this week. Um, but then in my mind, I'm like, but do I want to pitch it to a publication right now? Or do I want to just put it on my blog? Because, for example, last week I put on my blog because then I feel like I have ownership and creative control. But then when I feel like I'm good with my blog because I have a few articles that I want to do for that blog,
Right.
then that's when I can start pitching more. So I have pitched last year. So that's kind of how I started doing it was I started the blog where I was like, okay, I'm going to take it more seriously. Because I had that blog that I told you about when I was looking for work. But then later I just was like, I don't know if I want to keep writing about mental health.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, because it was called Art of HR actually. And it was only about like mental health in the workplace. But then I was like, I only want to write about like fun, like travel and lifestyle and just whatever comes to my head. Like I was like, I can't keep doing this workplace stuff anymore.
I feel that.
so
I
so
feel
that's
that.
when last year, that's when I started like a whole new website and I was like, I'm just gonna come up with whatever it's in my head and I just mainly wrote focused on travel because that's what I was doing. I was traveling a lot. And that's when um I was like, I'm working on this blog. I'm gonna start pitching now. Like I feel like I'm ready, and that's when I started pitching. And I'm really lucky that I do have one editor that she's like wanting to work with me again. So she wants to work with me, repeatedly, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So I have some ideas for her, but I just have to, get back to her. I keep like Google Sheets, so when I have like my ideas, then I just have like a running tab of the pitches.
Okay.
But then I'll kind of look like on the website, like have they already like covered that? Or for example, like the editor that I work with, she's really good about giving me examples of the topics that they want. And that's awesome because sometimes I have pitched to publications where I don't even know if they're actually seeking stories, but I'm still going to pitch to them.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but it makes it a lot easier to pitch when I know what they're actually looking for.
Right.
Because since she told me, with that form what she was looking for, it was easier for me to pitch to her versus other people where I pitch to them and I'm like, I don't even know if they need anything, but I'm just gonna try it. So this year, I am gonna pitch more, and I'm actually gonna go to a conference. Maybe you can check it out. Like it's for Institute for Freelance Journalism.
Ooh. What?
Yeah,
What?
I was actually like this year, like I really want to expand my network, so I was just Googling
Okay.
because, like I said, my background's not in journalism. Like I didn't study writing, so I kind of was just looking up like how can I get information and network and kind of learn about this field. So,
Where's
yeah, I
that
can
at?
send you the link if you want. It's virtual.
Oh, virtual.
So yeah, I was excited about it.
Okay. We
It's
will.
virtual. So I was like, yeah, I'm kind of on like my networking game, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, we would definitely talk more offline on about that because I'm definitely interested. I am scheduled to go to a couple of conferences. One of them is NAHJ, which is the National Association of Hispanic Journalists. Now, obviously, I'm not Hispanic, but I do know several different Hispanic journalists that go there and they, drop their resumes off or business cards off. And it's really a convention. It's a career fair, big time convention that they span over 3 to 4 days. But it's also the same with NABJ, which is my main one that I'm going to go to, and that's National Association of Black Journalists. And I went to NABJ in 24. This will be my first time going to NAHJ in July. It's in New Orleans. And
Oh wow. Oh,
NABJ,
that's gonna be hot in New
yeah,
Orleans.
it is. But I'm telling you, I went there last year for the Super Bowl because Super Bowl 59 was in New Orleans. If you like food, if you
Yeah.
like food and a culture and a vibe, New Orleans is where you got to go. No
Yeah,
question
I
about
love New Orleans. I've been there once. I went
it. Mhm.
there not for like an event, just to go,
Yeah,
and it was amazing. Yeah.
absolutely. And NABJ is in my backyard where I went to college. So it's in Atlanta, Georgia this year. So I'm going to definitely go to Atlanta, Georgia as well, and do that back to back. So one's in July, one's in August, but I definitely want to check out the Freelancing Institute for that conference. That would be amazing. I would definitely do
Okay,
that.
cool. Yeah, send me the conferences that you're going to also,
Absolutely, I
because I
definitely
haven't
would.
heard of those. But I'm not black or Hispanic, so I don't
But
know if I.
no, you're
I maybe
good.
I should.
You're
I'm
good.
good. Okay.
Yes, you're
Because
good.
I've looked up Asian American, but that one seemed kind of small, so I don't know. I have to look more into that.
Yes, you're talking about AAJA, if I'm not mistaken. You're talking
Oh,
about
so you
that.
know about them?
I do. I
Yeah.
do.
Okay. Have you been to their events?
I have not. I was gonna go last year. Last year was in Seattle. I'm not sure where this particular one is this year. I don't know if they came out with a destination or location yet, but I do know a few Asian journalists. And
Oh, cool.
for me, I like to go to different conferences just to network, to be able to pass out business cards, talk to different people. Yes, do they specialize in Asian or black or Hispanic? Yes, but it's not just those people that show up. It's not just those different um, you know, um ethnicities that show up to those. It's all different ethnicities that come to these conferences because at the end of the day, you're hired when you're hired and you meet who you meet and you network with who you network with. So I like to go to different conferences. It seems like you do too. So I definitely will send you the NAHJ and NABJ, and then we can link up and do the Freelancing Institute thing and stuff like that. So I would love that for sure. It's a great segue though, because now I want to talk to you about mental health and work life
Okay.
balance. And the reason why is because I've met many journalists in this industry that have stepped away because their mental health was affected and went to a different profession. I've met many journalists that stepped away because of work life balance. They just can't seem to get it right. In my opinion, I don't think you ever 100% get it right in this industry of writing and journalism and media because everybody's dealt with a different hand. Everybody is dealing with something different. Adversity hits differently for people. I would like to know How do you keep your mental health strong and still have that work-life balance? Because Chelsea, you seem like a wonderful woman to be around. I certainly wouldn't mind hanging out with you, and I think your friends and family feel the same way about you. But you also seem very passionate about writing, and just journalism as a whole. So how do you keep how do you keep it strong, your mental health, without experiencing burnout and being overwhelmed?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question because I feel like my self care practices have kind of shifted over the years, right? Like I mentioned, like I was burnt out of my first career in mental health. Um, so actually, like working now in writing is actually quite refreshing. But I can definitely see where you still need like boundaries with any field, right?
Sure.
And especially, I feel like you can just get lost like in social media because if I want to write about a topic, then suddenly I find myself like looking at like maybe I could talk to this person or this person and then I'm like I have an idea for this thing and wait, this wasn't even related to the article.
Right,
So
right.
I feel like one thing that I have actually done is that I actually have deleted my Instagram app on my phone.
Oh, okay.
So, because I felt like I was wasting too much time on it
Mhm.
instead of like doing things that, I was like, oh, I'm being productive. Like, I kind of am because I was like looking for, content and stuff that's related. But I was like, I just kind of want to be more present. Like, I felt like it was giving me a little bit of anxiety.
Sure.
And then I was like, I need to set this boundary with myself. And I was having a conversation with some of my friends, and they're not writers, but they were like, we need to get off social media.
For sure.
Like,
For sure.
so like everyone that I have talked to, like literally in January, I don't know if this has happened to you, but we were all like, this is our goal to get off social media. And I was like, I can't get off. I
Right.
want to get off, but I can't because I'm a writer.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
like, yeah, so I was like, I took so many photos on my trips and I was having a blast. I wasn't really checking social media. So I was like, let me just delete it off my phone then. And then maybe I'll download it if I need it and I need to do a quick post on there, but then I'll just delete it again.
I love it. I love that
Yeah.
that boundary that you set for yourself. I really do. I love that,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that.
I mean, I'm trying because, like, there's too many platforms like Substack, and I was like, I don't even want to touch TikTok, but I know a lot of writers are doing it, so.
Yeah, I haven't converted over to TikTok. I'm so old school.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is cool, good enough for me.
Yeah.
That's good enough. All those different kind
Exactly.
of
Like you can only do so much. Like it's
right.
fine. Like I mainly use LinkedIn, of course,
Yes,
and then
LinkedIn too.
Instagram, and I'm like, yeah, LinkedIn is the best.
Mhm.
But yeah, another thing is I do like a lot of meditation. So I wake up and I do like a 30-minute meditation every day.
Okay. Okay.
And that to me is really helpful because then like I have all these thoughts in my mind and I just feel like I'm starting my day like grounding myself and then I'm kind of more like intentional about my day. I feel like I'm more like, okay, like this is how I want to feel today and like I'm not perfect, like obviously I'm human and it's hard sometimes. I'm like I do want to scroll on my phone when I
Right.
wake up. I do want to look at the news.
Right.
Cuz
Right.
it's like I feel like these systems are designed to get us like addicted. Like I'm like I want to check BBC, but no, like I just woke up. This is not good.
Mhm.
Like I don't know, but that's what I've been doing is these Dr. Joe Dispenza meditation. I don't know if you follow him.
No, no. What's that?
It's basically like starting your day like thinking about how you want to feel.
Hmm.
Like so he has like these mantras that I follow and like I follow different like kind of self-help people where he's just like you got to rewire your brain. He says something like your personal reality is like your personality, something like that, where it's like your thoughts, law of attraction, like your thoughts are creating your reality.
Sure.
And I'm like, well, if I'm creating my reality by scrolling on my phone when I first wake up, like maybe I don't want that reality, you know. so, so
That's
that's
a
been my
bar.
goal. Like, it's not perfect. I'm not saying I detox completely. I didn't say that, but
Right.
like
Right.
that's basically something that I've been really trying to do because I'm like I still got to use it for work, but Like I'll try to do it more strategically where I'm like, okay, like for example, I connected with two writers last week because I went to a writing event. And I wanted to hear their writing. I wanted to get out of my house. I wanted to see friends. So I was like, I'm networking, but I was with like two close friends and we were just like having dinner and chatting.
Mm,
So that's kind of how I try to balance it because I feel like I am like very driven. So I'm like, I have this goal, but how do I make it fun?
right, right,
You know?
right.
So I'm
Absolutely.
like, I could go here alone and make it like a networking thing, or I could actually just invite another friend and we could just have fun and spend a few hours like hanging out.
Absolutely. No question. I love
So,
that.
yeah, I mean, I just feel like if I don't live my life, like, do I have anything to write about? Probably not. Like,
Oh,
that also,
yeah,
like, it motivates me to live my life. Like, I need to live my life and have fun in order to feel like joy and then have things to write about that actually inspire me and maybe it'll inspire other people. But, like I said, I was writing about mental health in the workplace, but now I'm kind of like, I just want to write fun travel stuff.
I
I
love it.
just want to write like, things that I like to do. I don't know. I'm probably going to write about different topics. I'm not sure yet, but that's kind of how I balance it.
Now I love that. And you mentioned before that you work at home. So like
Yeah.
how long do you normally work? Is it like a typical 8 hour day? How long do you normally work on your writing pieces? Do you get writer's block? I know for me, sometimes I do get writer's block. Does it take you a while to crank out a piece, a writing piece? And how long do you normally work on from a day-to-day standpoint?
Yeah, so working from home, I mean, I usually have meetings in the morning, so usually I'll just start like at 9. So I feel like it's still a typical day, like an office day, but it's like I can be flexible. Like if I'm like, oh, I have an idea for like a blog or something, then I'll just kind of start doing it and then maybe go back to my other stuff. Like I try to like hop around a little bit. Like if I get writer's block, like or if I'm like I'm getting kind of bored of this project, so maybe like let me put it down and start something new and see what happens. But I still feel like it's a typical day. But recently, I joined like a co-working space because to be honest, I really wanted to get out of my house during the week because writers can sometimes feel isolated.
For sure. No question. No question about that. Now, I want to ask this follow up because this next question is called bucket list. I want you to give me a top four of stories that you would like to write about that you haven't written about yet.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I have some dream publications. I'm just not exactly sure like what the stories would be.
Hmm.
But I mean, I have always wanted to write for Cosmopolitan,
Oh,
like
okay.
like a personal essay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Magazine. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, like because I grew up reading it and I really love like their writing style and their personal essay section. Like I don't know. I want to write more for I think women's magazines because I do write a lot about like solo travel and how it's empowered me as a woman.
Hmm.
And I feel like I think there's like a lot of travel sections like even in like Elle, Cosmopolitan. Vogue is more fashion focused. At one point I was like interested in fashion, but that's more in like photography realm. So
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, I think like just kind of like branching out and I don't know, like writing to support other women, I feel like is something that I'm really interested in.
I would love that. I love that you say that because there's not a whole lot of women that I know of that, in the journalism space, especially in sports, but in other genres, maybe a little bit more. But we need more women as writers, and we need more women in media spaces. And how do you feel? Let me ask you, how do you feel about being a woman that's representing women in the writing space, and being able to be like an advocate? And maybe even if somebody came up to you and said, "I want to do exactly what you're doing," as a woman, what kind of advice would you give to them?
Oh wow, that's a good question. I mean, I feel good about being a woman because I feel like I'm using my voice and I'm using my power. And I think it's important for other women to feel empowered
Hmm.
and other artists in general to feel entitled to express themselves. Because when I write, I'm expressing my truth, and it doesn't actually matter what anyone thinks because a lot of times people read your stuff, they're not going to say anything. Maybe it has inspired them. They may never tell you. But if you feel like you're expressing your truth and you empowered yourself to do it, that's good enough. Like that's what I would tell them because I think I was really hesitant when I was younger, like in my 20s. Like, for example, like when I started traveling and I was 20 years old, like I did not do a blog because I was like, I am not putting my photo online. I am not,
Oh,
like, I was like very like shy at that time. But now I'm just like, you know, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't put it out there online, like no one's going to find you.
for
And
sure.
like some other writers have written to me saying that we really liked your pieces. And I was really happy about that because then I felt like, oh wow, like they gave me feedback, but a lot of times they don't. And that's okay. So like
Absolutely.
if they don't say anything, that doesn't mean they're not reading it. That doesn't mean you're not changing their life cuz I don't go up to celebrities and tell them that you changed my life.
Sure. Sure.
So I would tell them like what I tell myself, which is that it does matter. Because sometimes I put up a blog and I'm like, I don't know if anyone cares.
I love
And
it. I love it.
you know, but I'm like, but then I have to keep going because if I don't do it, what am I gonna do? Just let the time pass and not write my blog? Like,
Right. Right. You got to be
so
you.
like I think they should just not really get discouraged by the silence. That's my main point
I
that I
love that.
tell myself, and I'm also gonna tell like younger people if they ever did ask.
I love that. Don't get discouraged by the silence because silence is inevitable. It's going to happen. Everybody's not going to like about what you write. Everybody's not going to be a fan of yours. But the main thing is you are confident, if you are okay, if you are comfortable with what you're writing, with what you're outputting about whatever you're writing about, whether it's lifestyle, travel, sports, news, entertainment, whatever genre it is. You just want to be confident enough, and you know as a writer that you're not going to reach all your everybody as an audience. You know that because again, to reiterate, everybody's not going to like your pieces, but all it takes is a few. And then from there on, now you have somewhat of a following. Now people look forward to reading your work, and I love that. So, we've reached a portion though of my podcast, and now we're going to play my interactive game called This or That.
Okay.
So, it's a
Okay.
game that I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, and it's very simple. I'm going to throw some things at you, and you get to choose this or that. So, Chelsea, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Out of these two restaurants, which restaurant would you rather sit down and eat at? Five Guys or In and Out?
You know what? I've never been to Five Guys because I'm very loyal to In and Out, I guess.
That's a damn good
So I
answer.
would choose In and Out
That's a
because
damn
I
good
think
answer.
they have more of a like a strong following, right?
Absolutely, no question. Listen, we're West Coast people, so In and Out is the way to go. So I was just, just testing your West Coast loyalty. That's all I was doing. So that's cool.
I mean, I'm loyal to animal style fries.
Oh, okay. I'm with that. All
So
right. Say less. I'm with you. Now, when it comes to chicken wings, which flavor would you rather have on the wing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
lemon pepper,
Do you like your wings wet or dry?
I guess. Dry?
Do you like a lot of
Because then
salt?
you can
Do you
dip
like
it
a
in
lot of sauce
sauce.
on them? Do you like a lot of sauce on them, or you like a dry rub?
I mean, I don't like a lot of sauce because I feel like I want to kind of dip it in the ranch.
Oh, okay, got you.
So I
Okay,
feel like that's why when you said like the barbecue or the lemon pepper, I was like lemon pepper because then I can kind of put on my own seasoning on it
you
instead
can.
of just having like sweet barbecue, you know?
Okay, now do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
I usually have bone in.
Okay. Now, mind you, I've never ate wings with ranch. I've actually,
Really?
yeah, I've never even actually had ranch. I don't think I've ever tried ranch even
Oh
on
wow.
salad. Yeah, yeah.
Ranch is amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been that bold yet. I have not been that bold yet to try it for some reason.
Like you never like had a pizza where you just like took the crust and dipped it in ranch?
No, because typically when I have pizza, it's a meat lover's pizza. So I have a meat lover's pizza. So I'm typically pepperoni, chicken, sausage, like all the meats on it, and then I'm good with that. Or a deep dish where it has some sauce to it already, so I don't really need to dip it in no ranch. So I'm huge into that. So, but maybe when I come back out there and we go somewhere, we'll try some ranch. How about that? That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Here we go. Next four have to do with music concerts you rather attend. So here we go with the music. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Kendrick Lamar.
I like that. Okay, we off to a good start. Here we go. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Chris Brown or Usher?
Usher.
Oh.
And I have seen Usher.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good live, no doubt. Okay, here we go. We two for two. We might differ on this one though. Which music concert would you rather go see? Rihanna or Beyonce?
Oh wow. Probably Beyonce.
Yep, we differed on that one. I figured that, but that was,
Yeah.
it was very close. Very close because I like both artists. I really do. But I
Yeah.
totally understand. Here we go. Last one for the music. Which artist would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Alicia Keys or would you rather see SZA?
I mean, I told you Alicia Keys was my favorite, so I'm gonna. So I feel like you changed the question because to see if I if I'm loyal to her. I mean, Alicia Keys is like the nostalgia more than SZA for me. Although I do like her, but
I feel
yeah,
that.
I would do another Alicia Keys.
Oh yeah, I definitely changed the question because of that. I wanted to see where your mind was going to be at from. If you remember earlier what you said about Alicia Keys, so yeah, definitely I did. But you were paying attention. That's good. I like that. So you did your thing. When it comes to sports, back to this: if a sport is on TV and you had to watch it, of these two sports, which one are you watching? Hockey or baseball?
Hockey.
Okay. Of these two sports, if you had to play them, which one would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Uh, I think I've played both. I I'm kind of neutral about both of them. I have to only choose one. I mean, I don't know if I like either of them.
Okay. They
I mean,
equally.
badminton makes me think of like I
Wow.
played it in high school because I was forced to play it in my PE class, and bowling I would play like because I was invited to go.
Wow. They're both equally as bad, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I don't I wouldn't choose those.
Wow. Okay. Let me ask you, which one is 51%? Which one is 49%?
I mean, I think bowling, like they have like an arcade over there, right?
Oh my
So
God.
like I'm choosing bowling
Oh
for
my
the like for
God.
like the other stuff that they have.
Oh my Lord.
I would choose bowling because I feel like people have bowling birthday parties, but not badminton birthday parties.
Okay, well, yeah, for sure. You asked if they had an arcade in the bowling. Oh my goodness.
I feel like they would.
They would probably. They probably would have an arcade. You're right. Okay, here we go. Do you like desserts?
I do, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to name four categories. You have to choose one of these that you will never eat again. Okay, one of these categories. So the first category is grouped together. Is cake slash pies. The second category is cookies. The third category is candy. The fourth category is ice cream. Which one are you getting rid of?
Candy.
Girl, you on point like a period. That's what I would say. You are on point like a period. I'm
Yeah,
with you
I'm
on that.
not giving up ice cream. I'm not giving up pie.
Okay.
What was the other one?
Cookies.
I mean, I wouldn't want to eliminate that either,
Okay.
but
So
that would be the second choice.
so
But definitely, I can't give up pie or ice cream.
what is your favorite ice cream?
Coffee or like salted caramel.
Wow. Okay.
Like
Awesome.
those two together, that's like my favorite combination.
Okay. I've never had neither one of those. I'm a cookies and cream person. I like cookies and
Okay.
cream and chocolate chip cookie dough. That's my two favorites. Do you like
Okay.
potato chips?
They're okay.
Okay.
I'm
So
more of a sweet person.
same format. I'm going to name four brands. You have to choose one of these brands to get rid of. So here we go. The first brand is Pringles. The second brand is Doritos. The third brand is Lay's. The last brand is Ruffles. Which one are you getting rid of?
Maybe Ruffles.
Oh hell no, Chelsea! Come on now, come on.
'Cause-
Oh Lord, girl, where we gonna go eat at? We can't go eat nowhere. I mean, what is going on?
Well, like, okay, Doritos is like one of my favorite, like the Cool Ranch Doritos.
For sure, for sure. Yes.
Yeah, but like Lay's and Pringles, those are just classics. But like, I don't remember ever craving Ruffles.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If we're going into a grocery store together and I say, Chelsea, can you go to your chip aisle and buy your favorite chip to eat? What are you eating? Your favorite chip?
I mean, I really um, like what's it, salt and vinegar or ranch, or like those tortilla chips with lime on it.
Huh. Oh gosh. Yeah, we going to stick to wings to eat this. This is awful. Do you know that
That's awful.
salt and vinegar chips are the second worst chips ever made in life? Like they're just bad. They're horrible. Salt and vinegar chips. I'm a
Well, like I said, like with the wings thing. So like my theory is like I don't want like a lot of flavor on the chip because I want to dip it in something. Like I like the dips.
So hold on. What you dipping salt and vinegar in?
Well, probably nothing, but like I'm just like I'm not really like I'm not like a salty like savory like person.
I got you.
Because when I think of chips, I think of like pita chips with hummus.
Okay. We are definitely. Oh my gosh. That's probably
Or
the
I think of just like tortilla chips with guacamole, but like I don't really feel like I go for like a lot of the flavored chips.
I feel that. Okay, I feel that. Listen, well, we'll give you a chance to rebound yourself on this question, and this question is about advice. What advice has someone gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Yeah, actually, I was talking about this with my friend earlier.
Mhm.
So it's kind of related to what we were mentioning, like about the silence and everything.
Yeah.
So I think one advice that someone's given me is like, like as a writer or like anything, I feel like anything creative or you're just starting something new or trying new things, getting out of your comfort zone, like it just feels like okay, you're kind of like throwing like spaghetti on the wall, like it just feels like you're just trying different things and seeing if you like it
Right.
and like and that's kind of how I feel with like writing and networking and like building up my career at this point.
Right.
So I think the good advice that they gave me was just like if you keep being persistent and you're doing these things, like you don't see the path, but you're gonna see the results at the end. Like I don't feel like it's gonna be linear. Because I feel like the human brain wants to have linear things, but that's not really how it works and with anything. So I think that has really helped me. It's like you're gonna see the result eventually.
Absolutely.
Like even though I'm just doing these different things, I'm just trying it out. You know.
Absolutely. No, I love that. I love that advice. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool advice. Before I let you go, I want to ask you, what is some of the next like countries or not countries, but places that you're going to go travel to and write about, and what's some of the next articles that people can kind of see that you're going to write about that they should pay attention to?
Well, I am still working on my articles about Spain and France, and I'm gonna do an article about London.
Okay.
I am gonna be possibly traveling to Japan,
Wow.
And so I will probably be writing about that. I'm probably going to be traveling to Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Um, yeah, I mean, I those are the main trips that I have. I really want to go to Mexico City, so we'll see.
You'll love it.
Um, yeah, I know everyone says it's amazing,
Yeah.
and
You'll love
yeah,
it.
like the Mexican food. I want real Mexican food, so
Oh, yeah, it's authentic out there.
yeah.
No question. You'll love
Oh
it
yeah.
for sure. Okay. Now, I got to ask you, because you said you copywrited for 5 years. What do you like the copywriting? What is the process of actually going about that? Because I haven't really met a whole lot of copywriters, but what is like your essential role and what do you do in that role and for who?
So I work for a company full time.
Hmm.
It's a B2B gift card company. And essentially, the role is as a copywriter. Every week, I receive briefs. So, pretty much, like, we have different lines of business. So, they'll tag me on briefs. I review the brief. And if I have questions to the stakeholders, I ask them. Like, they'll say basically, like, for example, we have an ebook coming up and we have this research that our company did. So can you create an ebook, use the research that we have,
Yeah,
and then maybe sometimes I'll get on a call with them because they'll say, well, what's kind of the essential story that we're trying to convey, because we want to be able to make sure that it's kind of not the same thing over and over. But yeah, so my company does a lot of research. um, but a lot of times, like, I'll write ebooks, I write blogs. I do a lot of like SEO blogs because that drives traffic to the website.
for sure. Yeah,
I write a lot of sales materials. So a lot of the sales reps, like when they send out like emails about trying demos for our products, like that's actually written by copywriters. And like we'll have salespeople. So the sales reps, their job is to part of their job is to well, it's to sell, but they have to go to a lot of events. So they don't have time to write their own LinkedIn posts. So the copywriters actually write it for them.
right. I love that.
So it's kind of funny to do that because I always like look up their LinkedIn profile and kind of like try to make it fun where it's like, oh, cool, like I'm a different person today. But yeah, that's essentially like the job. Like I write ads. Like I basically just make sure it's like on brand. The messaging is clear. Like if I have questions, I follow up. But pretty much like we try to get few written assignments out each week. We have a team of writers, so we just help each other out. We just if someone needs help, they say I'm at capacity, then I'll say I'll pitch in. If I'm busy, then they'll do work on something for me, and then we do revisions. So once we have the draft, we'll have maybe 3, 4 drafts, and then they'll approve it, and then it goes to design. And then sometimes after design, they'll tag us back, and then they'll say, look it over to make sure it looks good, like it looks clean, like if it's an infographic or an ebook.
For sure.
And then we'll be like, okay, this isn't what we meant. Like we have like stats or something, but we really feel like this stat should stand out. Maybe make it bigger. Like we'll kind of work with the design team. Like they're the expert in that. I'm not going to design it for them because I don't know how to do it, but we kind of collaborate. Yeah, like we collaborate because sometimes like they'll have they don't really know the storyline. They just do whatever they just upload the Word document into their design and use the numbers and the words and everything. So we'll tell them like we want this part to be emphasized or this section, to stand out. So,
Okay.
but yeah, that's essentially the job.
Okay. I like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I like my company. The culture is pretty good, which is nice. And then I do the freelance stuff, and then like I said, I write my blog and I pitch, and I just yeah,
No, I
I
love
read
it.
a lot. Like I subscribe to newsletters, and I don't know. It's like my theory. Like if I subscribe to the magazine or something, the newsletter, then maybe they'll hire me one day.
Well, I am definitely hoping that obviously one of your articles, I'm definitely hoping that you'll get picked up in a full time type of capacity as a writer because I know you're very passionate about that. I know you copyright, but I'm saying as far as like a writer writing about lifestyle and travel and being able to go to these different places, like you talked about going to and writing about it, I really hope that you can do that. Um, to see about being full time. But this has been a really awesome type of conversation. And I'm really blessed to have you on here on my Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. Obviously, you're very talented, very passionate, very informative, very beautiful, and sweet as well. And I really, really love talking to you, Chelsea, on my podcast. My final question to you is there anything else you would like to add about yourself or anything else about writing at all before we conclude?
Yeah, if anyone wants to work with me to collaborate, I'm available for freelance work, so they can check me out on my website. I don't know if you can, link it below, but my name's Chelsia Durkee. They can follow me on LinkedIn, or Instagram, but probably you can just link my blog and they can check out my portfolio.
All right. Well, that is absolutely amazing. I want you to enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. You and I will most certainly be in touch, and I look forward to talking to you digitally and seeing you in person one of these days. It would be amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for your time. This
No
was a fun
problem.
conversation.
Yes, it was. And you take care, and we'll be in touch soon.
Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.